the popularity is increasing in phlox because it's a tough plant. I mean, it is a tough plant.
Hey, and welcome to the Plant Show, where we talk about
Plants.
What else would we talk about?
We love them. Can't get enough of it, Art.
First things first, we got a little game called
True or Phlox?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do this.
Try to stump me.
Okay. True or Phlox? Phlox are native to North America.
Oh, yes, that's very true.
Excellent. There are 67 species of phlox.
I don't know. I'm going to guess that's phlox.
There are 67. Precisely 67.
Precisely.
Precisely 67
All right, I'm one
species
for one.
of phlox. Yes. Okay. This is the big one. One nursery in Lithuania has 18,000 cultivars of phlox.
There's no way that's true. That's phlox.
Correct. But they do have 1,800 varieties.
Okay.
So they claim. Some of them could be, repeated, lost some
That's
tags.
a lot of phlox.
Isn't that amazing? 1,800 varieties in one nursery. Okay, true or phlox? There is a Phlox Festival every year in Vermont for 2 entire weeks in August.
2 weeks.
2 weeks devoted to phlox.
So I'm thinking you're tripping me up because it's only 1 week, or maybe it's all month. But I do see a lot of phlox in Vermont.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess that's true.
It is true.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
I'm lucky. All right.
Everybody loves
keep it
phlox.
going, huh?
All right, let's go.
Good.
Let's get it. Okay. This is a good one. Captain America teamed up with Dr. Phlox in the Avengers.
I'm kind of a comic book geek from
Okay.
my earlier
Okay.
days,
All right.
and I have 5 sons.
Okay.
But I've never heard of a Marvel character named Dr. Phlox, so I'm going to say false. That's Phlox.
That is correct. That is Phlox.
Okay.
Because actually, Dr. Phlox is another character.
He's on the Starship Enterprise.
That's exactly right. That's right.
Okay.
There were 2 aliens, and he was one of them. Okay. All right. This is the last one. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I can just throw this one out.
The top-selling hair color in 2021 was Orange Perfection Phlox.
I have no idea.
Would I lie about that?
I think that's Phlox.
Correct. You're absolutely right. I don't know what the #1 selling color was last year.
Enough talking about truth or Phlox. Let's look at the real deal.
This is true phlox. This is what is in bloom all over right now. You
Right.
see it everywhere. A wonderful ground cover. This is creeping phlox.
Creeping Phlox.
Phlox
Subulata.
subulata. Yes. Say that 3 times fast. Amazing. So this is evergreen. This one we're not going to eat. But also the deer tend to leave this one alone a little bit. When they're hungry, they'll nibble on this too. But this one is,
Yeah.
what a
Stunning.
it looks like an Easter basket just kind
Right?
of exploded
That's a
up
good
here,
point,
doesn't it?
yeah.
It just makes me so happy. I feel like spring and
5 petals.
Easter, and every single one has 5 petals. But these are evergreen, spreads very nicely, very vigorously.
It likes a little shade, but it takes full sun just fine.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
But it does fine either way.
A little
Not
bit
a
of
full
shade.
shade.
Right.
but
Yes.
It's a ground cover. It'll spread. Like, how much bigger than this is it getting?
One plant alone could eventually actually spread about 3 feet. So in the landscape,
That would take like
it would take
4
a
or
while.
5 years.
So in the landscape, maybe every 2 feet, if there's,
Okay.
just to give them room to grow. But I love phlox. It's a great ground cover, and it blooms for such a long time. We had a couple of bad storms this week, heavy downpours here at the farm, and look, they're just as happy as they can be. They're not beat up and doing great. Great plant. So there's wonderfully, because it's such an interesting plant that has the popularity is increasing in phlox because it's a tough plant. I mean, it is a tough plant. Like back in the day, 100 years ago, it was really popular. Then it kind of fell out of favor briefly.
Okay.
And in recent years, it has really come on strong. Lots of new varieties have hit the market. This guy,
Candy store.
the
is
candy
really
store,
popular.
that one came out. Gosh, it's been, I guess, about 12 years ago, something like that. Does that sound right?
I would have guessed 10.
So this year, brand new one is out. This is a Kapow series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw those.
So the Kapow, I'm kind of enjoying watching them grow, but everything about it, so they
this one's
claim.
pink, fuchsia.
Fuchsia. And this one should be the lavender. Yes. There's also a white one that exists. So
But we're
this,
not growing that.
No, we're not.
Okay.
But I wanted to just kind of see, because when you read about it, it says that it has all this vigor, and the name Kapow, reminds me of like Batman. Remember back in the day, Kapow.
I'm impressed with this stem.
Look at the
right
stem,
here.
yeah. So this was the new guy a few years ago, but look at that. I mean, that's looking like he's going to develop like a woody trunk
know.
on him. Isn't that amazing? I cannot wait to see this bloom.
Most weeks, Kendahl, I like to try to find an advertisement or a TV show that has something to do with plants or like the theme of our show. But this week I couldn't really find anything on phlox.
Okay.
So I went to YouTube and did a deep dive into the pop culture side of phlox. And I found some crazy stuff because it's a nutty world on the internet. So what I didn't know was, for instance, that Dr. Phlox is a character from the Starship Enterprise. And most of the memes about Phlox have to do with this guy.
Dr. Phlox.
This is just a garden. He's giving tips on weeding.
And weed underneath it.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
A YouTuber who has a flower
I
farm.
could probably pick off this annual
And
phlox patch
Beautiful
for a
phlox.
couple of hours, but I just want to get a bucket full. I think I'm going to host a bouquet bar tomorrow.
So there's a YouTube account that's called Phlox, but unfortunately this is the kind of videos that he makes. There's a lot of bands called Phlox. This one's from Estonia, not Lithuania, but Estonia. And it sounded pretty good till it got to this point. I wasn't able to find a good Phlox band.
Wow.
This one's called Creeping Phlox
What?
from Texas.
This is amazing.
Yeah, they're okay. Phlox Field.
Did you know that many people were just in love with phlox? This is amazing. Wow.
Cheesy lyrics and all.
Man. Gosh. The world is just about plants.
Pretty bad. This band is from Malaysia, which is called Phlox. I've probably found 20 bands called Phlox
That's
in some way.
incredible.
And it sounded great until he started singing. It's pretty bad.
I guess they're not singing about phlox, huh?
Syngenta,
There you go.
Paniculata flat screen.
flat screen. Phlox flat screen. I
Okay.
haven't heard of it before.
All right.
Of course, I love my artists doing speed paintings. They're amazing. And this is probably my favorite. It's a company called Phlox Graphics in London.
Okay.
And she paints murals mostly.
Oh, I love it.
I think we should do a plant pop film about her.
This is amazing. This is one person.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she looks so happy.
Look at this. Oh. Oh, I love it.
Cool, huh?
That's amazing. Man.
So that's my pop culture review
Good job.
of
That's a lot of phlox
Phlox.
interest. It's like phlox excitement all over the planet. This is great.
Now let's look at some pics.
Okay.
This looks familiar.
Does that look familiar?
That's our farm.
That's our farm, growing just a few
the
phlox.
ones we just looked at.
Yep, they're super happy
They've
right
been
now.
spaced.
Yep,
They're happy.
They're in their
They
prime.
just need a home.
they're in their prime. They're looking good. Okay, this was kind of a repeat from last year. We shared this
This is the H&R Phlox.
H&R Phlox.
Okay.
Yes, it just makes me so happy. I
That's
make,
a lot.
Yeah. Oh, here you
Okay.
go. This is a church down the road, and they've mixed it up. I kind of like how they just put different phlox in there and just let it grow together. Very pretty. Okay.
No phlox in here.
No
but
phlox
we've
in
got
here.
an azalea mixed in with.
It's the azalea show. They're just alternating pink and white azaleas.
Oh, I see.
I found it kind of interesting because
John and Tina.
John and Tina.
John likes white. Tina likes pink.
There you go. I like that. Okay, what do you notice about this photo, Art?
There's a big rock.
Does it look like a real rock?
No. I mean, that would be hard to move. Is that what you wanted me to talk about? The rock?
It's this giant.
It's giant. It's a boulder.
Artif-
We don't have a lot of, like, if you were in Vermont, it might be.
Artificial. This is not a real rock.
That's pretty bad.
It's not a real rock.
The fake boulder salesman had a good day when he walked down
Oh
that
my
street.
goodness, it made me so happy. Well, this was just kind of a fun property that was that I saw in passing, and clearly a very meticulous.
You took that while you were passing.
Yeah.
You didn't slow down.
It's like, you can tell. Roll the
Yeah,
window
that's
down.
cool.
Isn't that fun? But everything is like meticulous in this
Do
shot.
you have any pom-pom
Absolutely not.
things like that? I
do
didn't
not.
think so. You're
But
a hippie.
But I enjoy seeing them on occasion.
Right.
Now this one was
I
kind
really
of fun.
like the two blue
Isn't that fun?
planters.
It-
I mean, it
It pops.
does.
It works perfectly. Very traditional looking home with the front porch. There you go.
More phlox.
More phlox.
Bringing it home.
It's an entrance to a property, and that one is. They went with one flavor, and it's starting to spread and trail over the edge, and I like
That's
it.
good. Aw.
So Art, we're calling this the Phlox and the Hound.
Do you know the dog?
I had to end with that. No, it's just.
Just
Does
found
that,
it.
Does that make you happy?
It
It's
does.
just okay.
Well, we would love for you to send in your photos. If you see a landscape you like or don't like,
Yes, please send them. Inside Voices. Okay.
bring it on.
All right, you ready? So we've been
Yeah.
talking about creeping phlox today in bloom.
Yeah.
So I thought I would share a creepy kind of plant again. So this is Ficus Pumula Variegated. It's a variegated creeping fig.
Okay.
So in many parts of the country, this is hardy. They can grow outside as a ground cover. It'll grow tendrils. It'll attach itself to buildings
Yeah,
or
I can
fences.
feel the tendrils.
And it'll climb up a wall. Very interesting plant. Not quite cold hardy here in our area. Just not quite. Maybe in a very protected area, courtyard, it might make it, but it's beautiful inside of a home. I like that this is done in a hanging basket, just to kind of cascade
Right.
down. I like the variegation in it. Of course, we can see,
Not too variegated.
God wins. It's going green again. What do you think?
I love it.
Awesome.
Looks really cool.
Fabulous. I like him too. So this is not a tool this week, but this is something that would be effective to use with phlox.
Okay.
So phlox tend to like a slightly alkaline soil, just slightly. They do very well,
Okay.
really in most any kind of soil. They're a very adaptable plant, but slightly acidic, 6.8 to 7.7. So if you're in an area like us that tends to be a little more acidic, sprinkle down just a little bit of lime every now and then, and it'll be good to go.
And how long will it last for? This would be effective for
You could do
a
it
couple of years?
Yes, absolutely, a couple years. Yep. When you're planting it, you can sprinkle a little bit in the hole. A couple years later, put a little more
Right.
down. Yeah.
Let's look at a film. I'm excited to show you this awesome plant pop film. It's been up for a while, but I don't think you've seen it.
Okay.
It's an artist from New York. Chris and Mia, filmmakers that we work with, made this, but they were delayed because of COVID. And so I've been waiting. I was waiting a long time to see this one. It's about a 4-minute long film if you go to Plant Pop.
Okay.
But I have less than 40 seconds
Okay.
of a clip to show you.
As far as plants go, I couldn't have asked any more of them. First of all, of course, they feed me, but second of all, they've just given me so much in life. As far as my art goes, there is always something interesting, and some of those things you have to hunt for, and kind of the hunt is kind of fun too. Then you get to know the people that are growing things, and it's just a very, very satisfying way to go through life. And when I first thought about painting, part of it was just I'd like it to give me a ticket through an interesting life. and it really has done that.
Absolutely delightful lady and a great artist. I'm so proud that we get to tell her
Beautiful.
story.
Well, I need to go watch this.
Yes, you
watch this
do.
film right now. That's awesome.
Well, join us next week.
Please do. We're going to share another awesome perennial, Aquilegia.
I think you'll be surprised.
Okay.
You just have to tune in to find out what's going on. See you next week.